Hey man,
Hey.
you have a dollar that I can borrow?
Oh, no, sorry.
I need a dollar, man.
Sorry, no money, man. Yeah, no money. But good luck to you. Have a good day. God bless you.
You too.
All right, bud. What Kevin and I just did was a little skit, if you will. And that's an enactment of your typical, what could have likely been a setup for an attack. In 20 years as a law enforcement officer, I've probably taken tens of thousands of offense reports, a lot of those being robberies and various types of violent assaults. And I can't tell you how many of them began with, this guy came up and asked me for money or the time or some random question, and this other dude came out of nowhere and hit me in the head with a bottle or something. So that's kind of what we acted out. Now, although that one turned out okay because I used proper awareness, it could have been that he had an accomplice off in that direction, whom he had waiting to jump me had I not turned him around as you saw me do. When someone approaches you with some random question like, you have some money for me to ride the bus? One, is there a bus stop near you? Look around. But first, make him turn around just in case. He may or may not be a bad guy. He may really be a guy who wants to get some money to ride the bus because he's down on his luck. But just in case, make him turn the opposite direction of where he was so he loses eye contact with his possible accomplice, because that takes an advantage away from him. It's going to make him nervous, and as you saw, Kevin was acting pretty well as fidgety. He was putting his hand in his pocket, which when he did, I stepped back, bladed my body, and I had my backpack ready to swing as a distraction. And I created a little bit more of a gap without really alarming him that I was suspicious of anything. He was acting fidgety. He was kind of, you couldn't see it in the camera, but he was kind of making a sort of eye movement towards his peripheral to see if his partner had moved his position to where he could see him. Those are the kind of things these guys will do. Anyway, you want to turn the odds into your favor. You want to start looking around without acting nervous. Because if you start acting nervous, they may get nervous, and they may get hasty, and they may just decide to jump the gun and attack you. But if you play it cool, take away their advantage, just say, and be friendly, keep your hands ready, and just say, hey, no, sorry man, no money, but you have a good day. God bless you. And good luck with finding that dollar. And then just kind of walk off, letting them know you're aware, not totally turning your back as I did. You know, I kept my peripheral on him and he knew it. And then you just walk off and go about your business.
Something else I noticed is when you were turning around, you didn't just break my eye contact with my accomplice, but you also turned around so that nobody's behind you.
Right.
Like, so if there are two of us and we have you kind of between us, then when you turn around, you're facing both of us in a single file line.
Right. Yeah, it's not necessarily just doing a complete 360. It's just a matter of turning you off enough to where you're not looking directly at where I think your accomplice may be, but it's also enough to where I'll make you give it away, right? So if it's enough to where you might be able to see him in your peripheral, you're going to be doing a lot of this with your head, trying to see if he moved, and then I'll know. So I'm headed out to my car in the parking lot, not very well lit, perfect place for an attack to occur. So here I am, I'm walking out to my car. I don't have my phone out. I'm not looking at my phone. Or if I'm an engineering student, my calculator. I'm not playing with my keys. I don't have my hand in my pocket. If you like to carry, I'm right-handed, so I don't carry my stuff in my firing hand. I always keep that free. Always carry your stuff in your non-firing hand if you're a handgun carry person. So I'm walking, I'm looking around. I see this guy coming before he comes up. He's not going to surprise me. As we get here, I have my hands ready. And as we're coming around, it's eye contact. I recognized him and made eye contact with him way back there. And greet him. Greet the stranger. Don't let him or her, I'm just going to say him in this, don't let him make the first contact necessarily. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Right? If he's going to ask you something, if not, just walk by. But if he's going to ask you something,
Hey, you have $1?
no money, man. Sorry. Have a good night. I'm keeping distance, but I'm not acting nervous. Don't act nervous.
Even if you are nervous, act like
Yeah.
you're not nervous.
Oh, yeah, and you should be nervous because, nervous in making contact with a stranger in a place like that. If red flags aren't going off with you, you're not paying attention well enough. But don't be on your phone. Be aware of your surroundings. Hands. Don't have your hands all tied up. Don't have your hands in your pocket. Don't be afraid to make eye contact with people, but don't stare them down either. So my point there is don't be intimidating, don't be provoking, but don't be fearful either, because either one of those can get you into trouble.
But eye contact can be intimidating, but it can also just be a sign of confidence. So like if I stare and I just stare, and I just keep staring, that's threatening. That will cause people to want to defend themselves or attack. And if I just kind of make eye contact casually and then look away, hey, I see you, how's it going? And then look away, I make affirmative eye contact, but then it's not a threat.
Just as much as eye contact, I also want to cover hand movement, which can also walk the fine line between provoking and confidence and protective. So naturally, you want to, if you suspect there may be something awry, you want to have your hands in a ready position. You don't want to have them in your pocket. You don't want to have them too far down here, because when someone throws a punch, if you think that you can bring your hands up fast enough from here, you've been watching too many movies. That's a lot better, isn't it? But I don't want to say, all right, there's something up with this guy. Oh, hey man, how can I help you? Yeah, you need something?
I just need bus ticket.
Does it? Yeah. Oh, sorry, man. I'm a little jumpy sometimes. Here you go. All right, no, that doesn't work. So how about this? Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, yeah, can I help you? Right? You got your hands up here in a good protective position. You just seem like a really good, nice, passive guy. Isn't that what I look like to you?
Yes.
If not, maybe a little eccentric. But that's okay as long as I got bus money, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that, not this, not even this. That's like, back.
Yeah.
Get back, Satan. We don't want that either. So just here. That's nice. It's friendly, and it's not provoking. Oh yeah, sure.
This can be, depending on the situation, this can say, hey, I don't want trouble, but at the same time, it can also, when employed incorrectly, it can say, I'm afraid. So if he's here and I'm like, you know, if I'm backing up like this, it also tells him that I'm afraid of him.
Well, it also tells me that you presume I intend trouble.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily want to send that message. Inside, you're thinking,
Oh crap,
oh boy, what's about to happen here? But outside, you don't want to project that. So say, yeah, hey, what's going on, my friend? But when somebody starts asking you a bunch of questions, turn it into a conversation. Hey, where you come from? Oh, I'm out of town. I was just down by the harbor watching the boats. Now I'm walking back to my hotel room. Don't just answer their questions. Now I'm just heading back to my hotel room. You live around here? Ask them a question too. Make it a conversation, because that shows them, yeah, I'm not afraid to talk to you. I'll stand around here and talk your ear off if you engage me in conversation too much longer. Are you sure you want this? Maybe that'll make them leave you alone sooner. Who knows? But yeah, just project that. That projects a whole lot of confidence. So just remember those things.
All right, so be aware, look at your surroundings, stay off your phone, watch people when they approach your space. Try to, if you think someone is suspiciously approaching you, try to turn them around so there's no accomplice behind you. And then get to your car, and if you feel like it was really suspicious, call the police from there. That pretty much sums it up.
Yes.
And please subscribe to Aiki-Fit Life. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.